Hi, I'm Nurja Singh. I bring you 30 insights into the art of surviving, thriving through, and not dying of a generation gap. And these are for all boomers, right through all zoomers. Insight 26. My generation reached adulthood with barely a concept of sexual harassment. Barely. It used to be called eve-teasing. People mostly lived their lives by the old standards in which gays were bad, transsexuals absurd, women should be mostly seen, not heard, and do not discuss harassment. Men policed the public spaces through practices like wolf whistling, slut-shaming, or plain assault. The sexual revolution then came between 2013 and 2017 with gay marriage, transgender rights, and the uprising against sexual harassment. Sexual harassment. It is crystal clear by now that women alone cannot fix gender balance. How do you get men engaged, convinced, and on board? Here is an interesting theory. Turn gender balance into a business issue run by leaders. Remember, one is trying to get to the mostly male executive teams and CEOs across the globe, across sectors and across cultures. A lot of women's networks and women's conferences around the liberal world have tried to bring men into the debate by turning them into mildly heroic beings with titles like champions, allies. Apparently, this is causing the males embarrassment, reluctance, even anxiety at times. One, it is uncomfortably traditional for women to have to reward good male behavior with admiration and applause. And two, sexism is a system that privileges men, yes, but also polices their behavior. And it's not particularly masculine to be seen as a feminist. They don't feel it. If gender balance is a crusade requiring brave champions and heroes, then who is the enemy? The rest of them, muttering resentfully against their singled out colleagues. It's called the pedestal effect. Male role models are necessary in getting other men to engage, but rather than making male support for gender balance the exception, the goal better be to make it the norm. How do you normalize and mainstream gender balance among everyone? You use existing male dominant hierarchies. It's about getting all leaders to reframe the issues for all men and managers. Reframe. Gender balance delivers better performance and returns. If leaders are accountable to shareholders and stockholders, stakeholders, then gender balance is part of their mandate. Sexism now becomes a business issue, not a diversity issue, not a women's issue, not a moral principle, not because you have a daughter and you've seen the light now. It becomes a shared responsibility for everyone. Right now, gender balance is being argued as a moral imperative, but in the corporate setting, the business case will likely get a broader base of support for balance from men. And what has been the experience of one of the more male-dominated organizations on the planet, the military, the army? Robert Egnell and co-authors in Women and Gender Perspectives in the Military, an international comparison, say that a key success factor is how the process is introduced and managed in a way that speaks to the core tasks of military organizations. A feminist-driven, rights-based approach has been found to be less effective than the more instrumental arguments of operational effectiveness. Right now, there is no link in male minds between equality and military operations or equality and business results. Would things change if that link were made explicit and credible? Sexism is rampant, conscious and unconscious. We are all working on our own all the time. Most of us approach it within fraught frames of biases. How about we add gender balancing to the list of management skills that need building, like technology, sustainability, or globalization? It will also build competencies to work effectively across genders. Move on from empowering women to integrating men. Invite them into the conversation on gender differences the way international companies have trained managers in cultural differences. When men and women are knowledgeable and comfortable working across these differences, they get to flex their management styles to their audience and their target customers. Build awareness of the masculine defaults and data that often underlie corporate systems and models in everything from marketing, product development, to recruiting, to research. But, managers have to be skilled before they are made accountable. Otherwise, everyone gets a backlash, frustration, or both. When leaders embrace the link between gender balance and business and become skilled at selling it, everyone gets on board. Where do you stand with this whole gender thing? This teenager is ready to listen. Book me to speak on the big social ultra sensitive ideas, and watch out for Insight 27.